and it will come in square to the arc, hit the ball. Here we come, square to the arc, throwing, around the arc, club face, square to the arc. Now there's the same position I was in the face-on angle, but now you can see it doesn't quite look like what it did from the face-on. It looked like I was flipping the toe over and gonna hook the ball. Now, for the haters and the doubters who say, that's flippy, that's casty, completely untrue. As long as you do what every good golfer does and you get your swing sequenced with the lower body and the pivot always working slightly ahead of that throw. Very easy to do that just by taking a club that, like this, it's whippy and it swooshes. You can do this with a regular club, it's just more apparent with a tool like this. All I have to do is intend to put my peak throwing speed out in front of the intended ball contact by about 30 inches. Now, if you are casty and flippy and you look something like this as you come down, then you might want to even exaggerate that idea. Remember, you're always on the arc though, inside to square, back to the inside, throwing it, but I'm going to put the swoosh 3 or 4 feet out in front. Simply, for most of you, it's just intention. If you just intend, I'm going to pick out a spot somewhere around this curve, about 3 feet out in front, right about here. And then you pretend that the ball is really there, teed up really high, and instead you try to make the swoosh really loud and snap that club out in front about 3 feet. You're going to automatically get your forward-leaning shaft, a massive amount of lag, almost more lag than you can handle, forward lean, forward divot, and compression. All takes care of itself. Wouldn't it be amazing if you can automatically do those things correctly with just one simple idea of throwing the club freely around the arc? So something like this. And you can hear, I'm trying to save that swoosh, and I'm trying to swoosh this club more right at the camera. So it's not a straight line. Do not try to throw the arms of the club head up the fairway. You're going to get terrible results in distance and accuracy and consistency. All go out the window as soon as you introduce a straight line into the concept of a golf swing. But instead we're going swooshing around and ahead like this. And you're trying to make it loud. The faster, quicker, more forcefully you can snap the elbow and wrist, which means it has to be free. It has to be the characteristics of a bullwhip. A bullwhip is not a steel bar. You cannot hit a golf ball far if you feel like a steel bar from the shoulders down. You have to be the bullwhip instead. So the way I see it, you really have 3 groups of golfers. You have golfers that do not bring the club from the inside around the circle. They bring it to the ball on a straight line from here. And then you have a second group of golfers that does bring the club from the inside into the ball, but they shoot a straight line again from inside to out, and that keeps them from hitting it straight. Then you have a third group of golfers that wants to hold the wrists as long as they can and then flip them over like that. Now, you're probably going to have 2 of those 3, and this is the exact reason why you're not getting the consistent results. You're not getting the distance that you want, certainly not going to get the face control you want, not going to get the divot location that you want. But instead we want to, again, it's a very simple concept on paper, inside on an arc to square, back to the inside, and throw it as free as you possibly can. Let's see what I can do. Now that's really hitting the ball. Not only long, but super straight and consistent. So you know what you're going to get when you're hitting the ball good on the range and you got to go tomorrow to the club championships and you go to the first tee and you got nothing. It's because you're in one of these 3 camps. So keep this in mind. Square to the arc. Throw the club head square around an arc, and you're going to get great results.